Hey guys, in today's video we are looking at a number of camera motion systems. This includes a slider, a motorized slider, a mini jib, and of course, a cinema dolly. Stay tuned. Let's make this comparison as fair as possible. We're using a Sony a7S II with a 16-35mm lens, and this will be mounted onto a humble ball head, which fits into all four of our systems that we're looking at today. Normally I'd use a fluid head, but we want to see just how smooth the shots are with the simplest setup out there. There'll be no image stabilization applied in camera or in the edit, and all I'll do is a slight color grade to make the final footage look, a little bit more exciting. Otherwise, everything would be as you'd expect to see it straight out of camera. We used an iFootage Shark Slider S1, an Edelkrone Slider 1 V2, a Rigwheels Passport Camera Dolly system, and finally, the iFootage Mini Crane M1 3 jib, just to mix it up a little. Here's the 4 different shots we captured today. What shot matches what motion system? I'd love to know what you think, so please post your thoughts in the comments now. Answers will be revealed a little later in the video. Okay, to start off this showdown, we have the iFootage Shark Slider S1. Made from aluminium with carbon fiber track, this belt-driven, lightweight, compact, and highly portable system boasts 1.2 meters of slide, with extra track rails to extend it to 1.8 meters if desired. The total package weighs about 3.8 kilograms, while the slider can comfortably support up to 5 kilogram payload. The Shark Slider comes ready to go right out of the case. As you can see, the setup time is measured in seconds. Of course, if you want to extend the track, this will take a bit longer. Either way, it's a toolless setup, which I'm always a fan of. You can mount it centrally on a tripod, or mount tripods on either end like I did here today. Hands down, I think the best feature of the Shark Slider is the included flywheel. This adds just the right amount of resistance when moving your camera along the track. Finally, the price is about $640 US, which I think is a pretty good deal. Next, we have the Edelkrone Slider 1 V2. The Edelkrone Slider 1 V2 is the only motorized slider we're looking at today. If you're familiar with my channel, you might have watched my Edelkrone review. If you haven't watched it, you can check it out from the cards in the video. I was quite critical of Edelkrone in my review, as their product advertisements on their own website and all the various YouTubers they sponsored all dodged the fact that the system wobbles on close-up shots. Fortunately for Edelkrone, we're using a fairly wide shot here today. Like the Shark Slider, the setup is pretty quick, taking seconds not minutes, which is always welcome. It weighs about 1.1 kilograms, and Edelkrone say that it can support up to a 9 kilogram payload when operated horizontally, and 2.3 kilograms when operated vertically. Its total travel distance is a tiny 20 centimeters, which, as you can see here, isn't very far. Being so short, you can only mount it in the middle. The beauty of this system, however, is the easy ability to repeat the same shot over and over again. That is until the LP-E6 battery that it runs off stops working after about 90 minutes, which to be honest is fairly decent. The Slider 1 needs the Edelkrone app to function, so make sure your phone is charged for that one to work. It can't be operated manually. Recently, the app has had some great stability updates which make pairing much faster, and you can finally take a phone call without it messing up your recording. So that's good to see from Edelkrone. Finally, the price is about $500 US for the version that we have here today. There is a Pro version that boasts a heavier weight capacity, but it's about $900 US. Ouch. Moving on to the big boy, the Rigwheels Passport Camera Dolly system. We threw this one into the mix so you can see what you can get if you go for a full-blown cinema-grade setup. The Passport Camera Dolly is made for traveling professionals and remote on-location film productions. Now, being professional filmmakers, it's important that we can actually fly with our equipment, so the Rigwheels package being 23 kilograms just makes the cut. This setup is one you'd expect to see on international documentaries or news-style content more than anything else. So you can appreciate how silly it kind of looks with this humble mirrorless camera mounted on a ball head. But for the purpose of this video being a straight comparison, that's what we've done. It does take much longer than any other system we have here to set up. It took us about 5 to 10 minutes to put it all together, which is still fairly quick in our line of work. speed is always the key for us. The default setup boasts a healthy 1.95 meters of usable track, and it can be extended with an extra track kit that work in 1 meter increments. Really, you could add a few of these before any buckling would occur thanks to the high quality aluminium construction of these tubes. It can support a fully decked out cinema camera of up to 45 kilograms that can be mounted on the top or even underslung on the rails. Now, our subject here today is very short, so we opted to rest the rails on a couple of Pelican cases that we honestly do all the time. So what do you think of these shots? As you can probably gather, these are not cheap. The Passport camera dolly will set you back about $2,000 with the Portarail travel kit being a further $1,000. So yes, basic maths, $3,000. But we really only wanted to show you what the difference is at the other end of the spectrum. Do you think they're worth the extra cost? Let me know down in the comments. Finally, we thought we'd throw a curveball option into the mix. The iFootage Mini Crane M13 Jib. Right out of the gates, yes, it's not a slider, and you won't be able to get the exact same horizontal shots a slider can provide. Though what you might not have considered is that adding this extra layer of movement in multiple axes is a great cinematic tool. Like the Shark Slider, the mostly carbon fiber jib weighs about 3.8 kilograms and can support a maximum payload of 15 kilograms, making it more versatile for bigger camera setups. There's mounting options for a 3/8 screw, or if you really want, you can mount your tripod ball head. You will need a fairly strong tripod if you're looking at adding that kind of weight, and you'll also need to source your own counterweights. But that's a fair trade-off for the excellent price of about $500, making this the same price as the Edelkrone Slider One V2. The jib is 97 centimeters at its most compact and about 2.17 meters at maximum extended configuration. It can tilt about 2.1 meters from its lowest to its highest position, and it needs a radius of at least 1.2 meters to spin in a circle. Setup time will only be a few short minutes, but balancing this on your own can be quite tricky, so that's something to be mindful of. Overall, I think this is a great option if you're looking to add an additional dimension to your camera moves. Finally, here's the results to the 4 test shots we did earlier in the video. Did you guess them correctly? I genuinely would like to know if you got that right. Also, I'd love to know what you think of these systems and what you think is the best system, so let me know in the comments. Alright, so that's our 4 different camera motion systems. Each have their pros and cons. After considering them all, if you had to get one, I'd make it the iFootage Shark Slider S1. It's strong enough, long enough, light enough, and cheap enough for a whole lot of different applications, and with the money you'd save on the other sliders, you could perhaps fork out and get the Mini Crane M13 jib as well. Well, that's all for today. If you like my content, be sure to leave a like. It actually really does help out my channel. And if you really like my content, why not subscribe and be sure to ping that little bell so you never miss a video from me. Catch you in the next one. Bye for now.